Hello, friends. It's night number 9 of the 12 days of Mamma Mia Miss. I'm here with the one and only Johnny Sparkles. Hello, Johnny. How you doing?
Hello, Mama Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Wonder why our names aren't showing up on the thing like usually it does. That's so strange.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's because I've got the our donation goals up here. We're at we're $112 into our $500 goal for the 12 days here. Nice. I'm glad that I get to see your name, Pierce Brosnan. That's very good.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan. Do you get it?
Yeah, I get some of your alias aliases. Yeah. You see Pierce Brosnan right above my head on the screen. From Mamma Mia 2, here we go again. Dan Connell pointed out that the background I chose is from a movie that we didn't even watch. It's from the sequel.
Have you ever seen it?
The sequel, no. Have you?
I saw the first one in the theater and I did enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the second one looked so bad. I know they never planned to make. They didn't write that story. Like they never when they're making a play or a musical or whatever they weren't like, can't wait to make 7 of these. But
yeah, because now that she knows who her dads are, or doesn't care who her dads, or whatever it is. That part
I don't need that. I don't need dads.
I don't need a dad. I need 3 dads.
Yeah, it's actually I don't think she says it in the movie or the play, but I feel like it's like. I mean, she says she doesn't want to know, but I think it's more like, I'll just keep 3 dads, and then they'll all send me something.
Yeah,
for Christmas,
she gets 3 Christmases now.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's the way you want to do it. Find out when you're an adult. So it's like you don't have to uproot and move every weekend or whatever. Every 3 weekends you're with a different dad. But when you're an adult,
although that would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool in a way if they were all successful dads. You just live with one person. It's like when we all get sick of our families sometimes. So it would be cool if you had 4 stable homes you could live in once every 3 months.
Said it's going to be it's like 2, one rich guy and one pretty good going guy seems to be pretty good, well off. I think he's an architect or something. And then the other one guy who's just lives on a boat, a boat dad, which is cool.
It's funny that I've seen Mamma Mia a couple times, and I've seen the play now, and you've seen at this point 10 Mamma Mias.
9
and you're like, I think what is an architect? It's not really they don't really go into stories too much.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter that much what their background is, aside from
everyone has a they don't go into too much detail. Not enough detail, honestly. Let's get more info on these dads.
Yeah, I need to know more about the white men in this movie or this play.
Yeah, except for ours that had spoiler alert, had a British Asian guy.
Yeah, he looked, I don't know, Filipino or something. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, definitely.
He could be a distant relative of you.
Yeah.
It could be if somebody said he was your cousin, it wouldn't be shocking.
Yeah, you can see that. We could be distantly related. Definitely very, very tall guy. So that's why I think maybe other mixed race Filipino or something.
Sam?
No, Harry Headbanger. Yeah, the Asian guy. No, Sam was very tall, very, very tall. I was just saying that the Harry Headbanger, Harry, he was very tall for an Asian.
Oh, for an Asian guy. Yeah. That's a good point. Was that his actual name in the script?
Harry Headbanger?
Or did you just name it?
No, they mentioned multiple times. When he picks the guitar up, he points out, it says HB on there for Headbanger.
But I did. Is that in the movie too?
Yeah. I think they mentioned it at least once. They call him Harry Headbanger or Headbanger. Harry Headbanger, I think.
Totally. Yeah, Harry Headbanger, and he's not very headbangery.
No, he's not.
Which guy is that in the movie? Is it? It's not Colin Firth or Pierce Brosnan. It's the other guy. What is Colin Firth?
Yeah,
he's not a headbanger.
No, he's not. Like she does the little flashback when she like sees them through the crack in the door, and everybody flashes back to like how they looked 20 years earlier. And he's in like a leather jacket, like a punk rock leather jacket kind of look. He's still not like a headbanger look, but
hell no, he's wearing a leather jacket, man. That's punk, baby. He's a headbanger. They should have. It'd be funny if they flashed back and it was Ricky Rackman. That would have been such a good inside joke for like 5 people. But like, he's like, "I'll be right back. I'm going to the ball," and then he just walks off screen. On a totally unrelated side note, do you remember the Kurt Cobain wore a gown on Headbangers Ball because he said he was going to the ball?
Right.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. That's awesome.
It's one of those bits that's like, okay, we get it, but now you're
stuck here for a half hour. We're in a very uncomfortable evening gown.
Yeah. But if you have the right shoes to go with it, I don't remember.
Why do they only have evening gowns? I want a morning gown.
Yeah. Yeah, morning gown is something different. MOURNI. Yeah. We have the donation goal up early. I just want to remind everyone we are raising money for the Hawaii Food Bank this year. 20% of the way there. Yeah. It's an important charity to help out with this time of year. Or really any time of year, but definitely this time of year. No one wants to be hungry on Christmas. Yeah. There's a link there at the bottom of the screen, and you can also hit exclamation donation in the chat, and that'll pop it up for you.
No joke, it is always sadder to see people in need during the holidays. I always think about it a little bit more because I work at a gas station, so I see a lot of down and out, and it's like super extra bummery during the holidays. So let's help them out. Kokua.
Yeah, Kokua. Yeah, tonight we are talking about, I don't know if anyone got it, but we are talking about the CEB High School. I don't know what that stands for, but it's the understudy production that they did for Mamma Mia. So I guess there's another video in the playlist where it's like the main cast, but these are all the understudies who I don't think traditionally, I mean, you didn't do a lot of musical theater in high school, I don't think.
No, I should have. If in hindsight, I don't know why I didn't, but
I was scared, and
I think I was dumb. Like,
there's some homophobia involved too in the.
Oh yeah, I think I thought it was gay. Actually, I didn't think it was gay.
Right.
I thought I will get my ass kicked for people thinking I'm gay because I'm doing theater.
Right. Yeah.
Stupid logic of a 15-year-old.
Toxic masculinity stuff that kept us from doing something very fun and building a skill that would have helped us later on in our careers.
Yeah.
Also, we would have been able to kiss girls. And some of these guys got to kiss girls in the play.
That would have been my only chance to
high
school because I didn't have the guts because toxic masculinity does a lot of things. Unfortunately, it doesn't get you laid.
Yeah, way more harm than good. It doesn't really do anything. But anyways, understudies, I don't think generally like you do a whole production of understudies, like everybody that was understudy get to do the show. I think that's pretty cool.
That's a normal thing.
Yeah.
I never heard of that. I also could not find out what CEB was either. I Googled like 10 different types of things for CEB and I couldn't find it. But the understudy thing was very strange. I was like, so these are the guys that suck, and
they weren't good enough to be. I wonder what the main cast's like. See, because like the girl who played Donna did, and Sophie, like the two main stars of the show, like they did really good. Like they could have been the stars of any other high schools.
I might disagree with you on one.
They sang very well. They sang very well.
I mean, little pitchy dog. I felt like I wrote a note about the. I think the lead, Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
I think she wasn't singing freely.
Yeah.
I think her natural singing voice is really good, but when she was more performative, I thought she wasn't as good. But I thought she was definitely. I thought the woman who played her mom, I thought was a horrendous actor. But not a horrible singer, but not a great singer.
There were times when she was well. It was impressing me at times.
Yeah, that's what was weird about it is they would even the non-singing parts.
Right.
I was thinking like there's parts of that production where they're like 100% all in, and then there's like other times when they're like 75% in. They're like, we know we didn't make the main cast. Like we can't get it out of our heads. This is going pretty well. But we know this is just our 15 seconds, and we'll never. It's so strange though. Like, it feels kind of like there's something like okay. So at the end of the performance, I still like kind of got teary eyed. Like not like I wasn't like super emotional, but I got a little teary eyed because I'm like, they did it. This is a real big deal. It's like it's kind of like being a celebrity for it's like being weird, and it's like you're the Hunter studies, but still you did a 2-hour show in front of people. There was only like one part they really flubbed. Everybody had trouble. They were. I don't think they were even on stage. It was one of those like off stage like, entrance. They were saying something, and then they kept flubbing the line. But yeah, I mean, it did pretty well. They got a standing ovation at the end. Let's calm down with the standing ovations in 2022 and going forward.
I would say 99% of the standing ovations I've given in my life has just been peer pressure because a lot of other people in the audience are doing it. I'm like, oh, I guess it's standing ovation time.
Remember how rare they were back in like the 80s? Like how rare ovation was, and now it's like every guest on every talk show. Bravo.
Yeah, but they got a huge applause at the end. Like it was the same. Like if this was at any other school, you wouldn't even think that these were the understudies. Like this is like the big show.
That is true. There are some schools. If it was at my school, they would have been like, "Where did we get these? Did people go to school here?"
Yeah, they did better than the University of Connecticut last night.
How was that?
Better. They definitely seemed like they needed a lot more rehearsal time. It seemed like it was something that got put on very quickly.
Wait, you said the understudy high school thing was better than the UConn?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean that's what's interesting. They did like for the most part really committed to it. And it's not the easiest play because they do well. For one, it's not as much as I really did enjoy the movie and that production of it was like pretty entertaining, but it's a really dumb idea. Because it's so forced. It's like we have to make every scene fit an ABBA song. And, but by the way, do you say ABBA or ABBA?
I say ABBA because I'm an American, and that's how you pronounce it here. I don't know how it's actually supposed to be.
ABBA doesn't feel natural, so I say ABBA because it feels.
If you were Swedish, it would probably just roll off your tongue.
And plus, it's the first part of ABBA Zabba, which isn't that some kind of candy or something?
Yeah, it's something that I've only seen. I think in what's that stoner movie? I forgot the name of it already.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was the only time I've ever heard of it was referenced in some movie I like.
Yeah, what's it called? Oh, it's gonna bug me. That's the only time. I don't think I've seen one in real life. I've just seen Dave Chappelle movie. What is it called? Well, I've seen it on.
Half Baked.
Yeah, Half Baked. Yeah.
Was it when he was for the horses? I mean, not for the horses, but before he feeds it to the horse.
I think so. I think he has some sort of hallucination where there's a giant Abba Zabba bar.
Remember when Chappelle was fun?
Instead of just genius.
Just a bummer. Yeah.
Bummer. Yeah.
Just like a super muscular, questionable about trans rights.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely I've seen I've seen productions. Put it this way, I've seen productions that should be better that weren't as good as this. So
yeah,
kudos to the understudies for really going for it. And yeah. Oh, I was gonna say another thing. Other than it's just a dumb and it's got to be really hard for teenagers to relate to when you're supposed to be a 50-year-old former headbanger guy.
Yeah, middle-aged people.
But the outfits too are not the most. They're not the best outfits you could have for teenagers, going through puberty, and you know what I mean. There's a lot of tight stuff and skimpy stuff, and the one guy has to have his shirt off the whole show for some reason.
He doesn't have to. A lot of people don't, and I talked about this with Yabez.
Yeah, why does he make that choice? Why does the producer of that one be like, no, you got to keep the shirt up?
Yeah, it was definitely a directorial, artistic decision. But talking to Yabez, I was like, you know what? If you're a high school boy and you get a chance to take your shirt off, do it, because you're never gonna look better than you do right now when you're 17.
It's I had the director made me do it. And I don't like to show off my body, but the director made me do it.
Realize it's all downhill from there.
Yeah.
Do it. Enjoy it while you got it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
What was the best one you've seen so far? Is the Russian one?
I like the Russian one a lot.
It was in Russian though.
Yeah, it was in Russian all the way through, with just random words. I think they say "Mamma Mia" in English, but aside from that,
did anybody do an abstract they had the main story, but they tried to do something silly or wacky?
I want to find one, but I haven't seen that yet. No.
There's got to be one, right?
Yeah, there's got to be somewhere. I just haven't found it. Did you watch? Were you with us last year for the cats, the Russian Cats one, where it was just like a sketch comedy show that had cats in it?
Oh, you were telling me about it. I never saw the Russian one. I think I did some kind of. Oh, we did it on ice.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It was it was like a mix of adults and children on ice.
Yeah. Very strange.
I was I can't tell if that person's 12 or 30. But...
Yeah, it's just all the ice skaters from the ice skating class, I guess. I don't know.
The play has way more music, right, than the movie, or is it? I don't remember that.
It's up. I think it's all the same, except the dream sequence after the intermission, where she's on the bed and they're dancing around, spinning around and stuff with the dresses and the tuxedos. That doesn't happen in the movie. But I think everything else. Was it a play first? Yeah, it was a play first, yeah. In 1999, I think is when it came out.
And then Mamma Mia, it's the play Mamma Mia 2 came out a couple years later, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, here we go again. Has to be the stage adaptation of the movie. Which I don't know if it's come out or not. Probably. It's like when they made.
No, it came out. It already came out. Remember, that's how they made the movie. They didn't just make up that movie. That's based on a Broadway musical.
Yeah, it's based on a true story. I know that.
Oh,
that was how ABBA met. Is that there's 4 of them, right? And 3 of them think that they're the father of the youngest one, even though it's 2 men and a woman. And then another woman who's the same age as them, who is one of their daughters.
Yeah, Jurgen, I think Jurgen Smirkin thinks that Bjorn and the other 2 are. She thinks the other girl is her father. She thinks the 2 guys, the girl, are her father. She's very. I mean, she's a modern woman, so she's like, it could be the girl, you know.
Yeah, we're not gender stereotyping here.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I want to mention is that this video got posted in April, the end of April. Already has 11,000 views for the understudy production from this high school. That's more views than anything I will ever make will get, and that's just for a high school video.
That's pretty big. Yeah. Do you know if that is when they recorded it, or?
mean, it feels recent. I mean, because like definitely like they seem like young people from the last few years. They don't have masks on, which is another version I'm watching later on this week. But maybe that's just they're from one of those states where they don't wear masks. So who knows?
Well, it was hard to tell where they're from because everybody. Well, at first the ladies, it's a little white girl, and then okay, her mom's black, and then her mom's friend is like English as second language, maybe.
Yeah, or one of her friends
has like a weird accent.
Yeah.
And then you got Harry Headbanger, who's a British Asian kid. So I'm like, wait a minute, where are we? Really and I could have sworn I heard another Australian accent sneak in. So I'm like, are these Australians pretending to be American, but the one guy couldn't do it? Like, one Harry Headbanger couldn't do it. It's just like, all right.
Yeah, I haven't watched an Australian anything on any of these. That's the next. For next year, I'd have to seek that out.
I feel like Australians would love Mamma Mia because it seems like a very Australian thing. Anything with like sun, beaches, and like music, like silly music, it's very Australian.
Yeah.
Did you know that if you're reading a diary, if you're ever reading a diary with your friends,
it's a federal offense.
You have to go on. Well, that's number one. You're watching and you're reading your friend's diary, your mother, your friends, whoever's it is.
Yeah.
Little offense. Don't do it. Number two, but if you do have to do it, you have to go on your knees. You don't have to go on your knees. Look at. I've never seen anybody read a diary without going up. Like they'll be standing. They could be on the bed. Then it's like, oh, I have to go run to my knees and look at it.
It's more dramatic that way. Because our children won't be able to read our diaries. They have to go back and read our old tweets or something.
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be so much worse.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I have some questionable tweets, like just because like it's weird. Like time happens so fast. Like I was just thinking about it recently because Brian Posehn had an album I really liked called Heart and Wiener Jokes. It came out maybe around 2010, somewhere in that area. And half of that album is like you couldn't do it today.
No.
He says tranny. I'm just quoting. He says tranny. He makes fun of a transsexual. Not like he's not making fun of them. He's just making fun of this one interaction he had with the transsexual. I'm just like, wow. And he wasn't being. Brian Posehn doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would want to hurt anybody. So it's very so strange how that quickly, it's like And I'm sure I know for a fact I used the word tranny back in the day and feel horrible about it, but it was just one of those things where everybody said it. Like people used to say the F word like it was nothing, not fuck, but the other one. Like it was. Yeah. When I was a kid, I was just like saying, "Hey, man!" Like, I have a friend that still. I have a friend that if I don't see him for like 2 years, and I run into him like on the bus or something, he calls me that because it's fun.
Because he remembers that time you almost did a musical in high school, and he
right
turned into his brain.
He'll never forget.
Yeah,
that's his 9/11. Me almost doing a musical. Me almost doing a musical in high school is his 9/11. I don't know why he took it so personally, but hey.
Oh man, everyone's different.
Yeah.
I didn't take too many notes on this one. Yeah, I think it was really cool. This is the only time had multiple people of color in one Mamma Mia. And I wonder if we go watch the main cast recording, if it's just all white people, and so they put all the blacks and Asians in the.
I think it's all black people. That would be so great if you find out like the school's actually like 90% black, but the only white people are understudies.
Yeah. You find out all the white understudies, they're just playing different parts in the main cast. They're just understudies.
No, you just made me sad because I'm like, no, but in real life, it's probably all the white extras in the understudy production are like the stars of the main.
Yeah.
And they're just
that's what I would do. So what's your favorite song? You've seen the movie and you've seen this play at least. So like, do you have a favorite song or number or part of the movie or the show?
You know, it was I can tell you the worst one. I'll start off with the worst ones.
Okay.
Honey, Honey. Is it Honey, Honey?
It's one of
it's Honey, Honey, and it's horrible because they like over enunciate it. It's like Honey, 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 Honey. They have ABBA has a lot of.
Yeah.
I'm saying ABBA.
Yeah.
ABBA has a lot of songs that just repeat words. Like Honey, 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 Honey. They have Money, Money. Mamma Mia, Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
I also have to
key to a good pop song is there's a lot of repetition. That's how it gets stuck in your head.
True. Well, and English was their second language, I'm assuming too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like Roxette. Like, remember Roxette? Like
no.
Roxette had you definitely right said Fred. You definitely know Roxette songs. They had a song called shit. I'm only looking it up because I know you'll know it.
Okay.
But I remember loving I loved a couple of their songs. They had a few hits on MTV. They had maybe like 3 or 4 hits on MTV. And I was like, oh, I just thought they were like a band, like some pop band from America. And then they had an interview and they were like, yes, well, music, great. But they had It Must Have Been Love. That was it. It must have been love, but it's over now.
Okay.
That song.
Yeah.
And so, Listen to Your Heart. That was Roxette. The Look. The Look was a great song. The Look was I don't know. It's kind of a ripoff of. I think the Prince had a song called "You Got That Look," and or maybe it was Sheena Easton featuring Prince. But again, when your second language is English, a lot of your songs are not the most original. It's like, let's just repeat words and steal songs from other people and make them our own.
That's all it takes.
Yeah. So that Honey Honey song was just unbearable.
Yeah.
And the Chiquitita is the dumbest.
I don't like that song. Yeah.
Holy crap. Why did they include that? And my biggest, even when I saw the movie, I had a big gripe. I'm like, you're gonna do. It's a corny. I mean, you have great actors in here. I don't know how they got Colin Firth and Meryl Streep to do it, but they must just gave them a house each.
Yeah, and when you watch the movie, it's like you can tell they all just went to an island in Greece and they just drank ouzo all day and were having a good time.
Yeah,
it's a fun time.
Sure, it was fun, but it's not. It's just I feel like it's not the greatest thing for your resume. But I guess that's the good thing about being Meryl Streep is you can do whatever you want at this point in your career. It's like, let's have some fun. But my biggest gripe has always been you're gonna do all this corny stuff and you don't have a character named Fernando.
Yeah, she's humming it when she comes out and like sees the 3 dads the first time, or singing it.
But not
herself.
Fernando, right?
Like 5 seconds of it. Maybe.
The easiest way to include, because there's so many songs that are forced.
Yeah,
it's like
an easy one to.
The way to have that song included is to just have a character named Fernando. It could have even been funny. It could have been like just a random guy that pops in and they're like, "Who's that?" And they're like, "Fernando." And then,
and they sing the song. It writes itself.
You know what I really did love too was the I don't know if it was like recorded. It sounded almost like there was. I mean, I'm sure there wasn't. I can't imagine there was, but it sounded almost like there was like a live band there. Because the interstitial like guitar work, which is basically just like, I think it was just somebody like doing an interpretation of Mamma Mia, like instrumentally, over and over. But the guitar was like the guitar on those like little interstitial music breaks was like kind of like sassy. It was like it's like a little like I don't remember. I've never seen the play version of it before, so I don't know if that's a thing that maybe it's from the Broadway.
Oh, maybe. I feel like it's a time when the guitar player has some room to noodle around if he wants to. Especially if they gotta vamp a little bit sometimes with those set changes. Sometimes
right.
It takes a little extra time. Yeah. So
yeah, because when you do it live, like when they do like Broadway and they have the band in the pit or whatever, that's usually when the kind of thing happens. So I'm wondering if I'm pretty sure they didn't have anybody there like for that. Like I don't know why a guy would be committing that hard for, but I'm like, yeah, I wonder where they got the music from because it's actually like really good transitional music. But there was a couple. I mean, I think Take a Chance was pretty.
Yeah.
Take a Chance was pretty funny because didn't they like? They added some. It wasn't just Take a Chance like word for word. I think they added some stuff into it comedically.
Yeah.
By the way, it was like some of the actors were like really good and like knew what they were doing, but some actors like did not understand comedic timing at all. Like they would just like read a line straight without they wouldn't pause where they were supposed to pause or like wait for a response. Yeah, it was pretty rough. But
they're learning.
What's that?
They're learning. They're kids. You know, it doesn't come naturally to everybody. Not everyone's like natural comedic genius like Johnny Sparkles.
You know, that's true. Thank you. But you can't defend. They'll never learn if you keep defending them. They'll never learn. But the two songs I actually wrote down was that I like really liked was well, I don't remember what song. I just remember the part when Harry Headbanger finds the acoustic guitar just randomly sitting on the wall.
Yeah.
That's been there the whole time, but right now he noticed it. Wait a minute.
I know we're in the middle of a conversation here.
Hold the presses. I think I recognize that guitar. When he was just playing acoustically, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was, and then I mean the whole song was good, but I don't know why I can't remember what song it was. But
I think they just play part of Our Summer, Our Last Summer. What is it called?
The music. Thank you for the music. I think it's Thank You for the Music, or maybe it was
Last Summer.
But I think it transitions into Thank You for the Music.
Yeah. So I think because it's just him and her like singing a little bit of it before you actually hear him later on.
But when he just before the lady joined in. No, I thought his guitar playing was like really nice and his voice was nice. But my favorite singing of the whole play was when Sam kind of got into a zone in I don't know what it's called, Knowing Me, Knowing You.
Right.
Something like that. Another very repetitive.
It's true.
But his vocal tone there was something about it that really caught my attention. I was like, I would like buy this. If that guy had an album that I knew about, I would like check it out because I really liked not just his he didn't have like amazing dynamic range or wasn't like ripping the roof out the building, but he had a really like beautiful tone to his voice. So I thought the mother's voice was like mother's voice was just grating for some. I don't know why. Just didn't hit my ear right. But
like when she was confident and it worked, and I think that was my biggest kind of note throughout the thing is I just wished everybody was more confident, and that's just what teenagers are like. They just didn't have that confidence that they needed to like really believe in themselves and go for it. Because like there were moments when they would and it would really work really well, and then they would kind of back off.
Yeah, 100%. I think Sophie like actually has a future in the business if she like learns how to be more confident. Because I mean, there's a lot of heavy lifting in that role, and she did a good job for most of it. But you could tell, you can almost see her like getting in her own head, or because I feel like she didn't even sing the same every time. I don't know. It's weird.
Right. Yeah.
There's this new trend in musicals too, which I don't like. What's the name of that? Have you seen the new Christmas musical with Will Ferrell and?
Oh no, not yet.
It's
like Scrooge, but not right.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. I would recommend you see it at least once. It's a very cute, very it's a harmless film, but everybody in that movie, including remember the name of the actress that played Ma? Do you remember that ridiculous horror movie called Ma, where it's a great horror movie. It's basically like this weird lady in the neighborhood that lets the kids party at her house.
Right.
And she like buys alcohol for them. They're like all these high school kids, and they all like hate their parents, so they hang out at Ma's house, and she just gets them drunk and like flirts with like high school boys and shit.
This is really cool.
It's such a bad movie, but it's very like I love the concept of it.
Yeah.
You definitely know the actress. She's a famous actress. What's her name? Sorry, I'll have it in a second.
It's not related to that Ma Kettles. Ma Kettles Black Bottom or whatever.
Oh, I don't think so. I forgot about that one. And it's also not related to Mom, the weird Darren Aronofsky.
I want to watch that.
I do want to see that because I bet you there's a good chance I'll actually like it because I like weird stuff.
Yeah. Is it Mother? I think that's what it's called.
Have you seen Bardo?
No.
It just came out on Netflix. It's one of those like even if the movie I haven't seen it, I've only seen like a third of it so far, but it's one of those like even if the story sucks, it's so visually amazing that you'll probably like it.
Cool.
But anyway, I'm thinking of Octavia Spencer. Do you know that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I love her. She's actually one of my favorite actresses. I think she's very entertaining and funny, and even off screen, she seems like a super nice person.
Right.
But every person in that movie, and every person in this, well, not every person in this production of Mamma Mia, but many of them are doing that. I sing every word pronounced as much as I can sing it.
Right.
And like I know for a fact Octavia Spencer can go sing with soul.
Yeah.
And I felt like she just was holding it in. And I don't know if that was a note that they wanted it to be there, if they wanted everybody to kind of be in the same they didn't want to go too big maybe, but
right.
It's just and in that movie it's literally I love musicals, but I've always hated the musicals where it's like I'm literally just singing dialogue.
Oh, I hate that. I can't deal with that when that happens.
You might hate that movie because it's one of those where it's like and then they've been trying to make jokes about it like you don't need to sing this part, and I'm like, yeah, you don't.
You really don't.
You don't need to sing this part. What am I doing now? I'm singing too. And I'm just like, but it's from the songs are decent because it's from the same guys that did they're like the big musical guys now. They did La La Land and there was another musical a few years ago that was pretty big. That they're like the new hit musical guys. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a fun movie, but I've always hated that every thought that you had in the movie is sung.
Yeah, it makes the songs less special because everything is a song now. So,
yeah, it doesn't sound like it's from the heart or like it doesn't sound organic.
Right. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I learned what that was called one time, but I forgot already.
The over enunciating singing,
or the thing where you sing all the dialogue that's not even.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. What is that called?
I don't know. It's some special musical word.
It should be a crime.
Yeah, it definitely should be a federal offense right up there with reading your mom's diary.
One of the worst non-sung lines in Mamma Mia is buildings are like buildings are like buildings are like children. You always know your own, or something.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't make any. It's just the dumbest. Buildings are like children. You always know your own.
Yeah.
Something like that. I'm just like, what? I wrote it down, but I wrote down buildings are like buildings. I don't know why. I forgot. I wrote down the buildings twice.
Yeah.
But
buildings on the brain.
Chiquitita is so bad.
It is
I mean, that's just that's not the musical's fault. That's ABBA. ABBA should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ABBA's fault.
It's not a
song called Chiquitita. I mean, it had to be like, let's do a Latin one, yeah? Let's do a Latin song.
Right. They have Fernando, and it's so much better.
Oh, that's true. Why did you need... They were, like, obsessed with... they're like... what do they call that? Like, they're like Mexiphiles. Or Spanish file.
That's Spanish Fly. That's something else.
Spanish Fly. Yeah, that's we're Spanish.
Cosby.
I wore my Cosby Christmas sweater.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan of the. What is it? Does your mother know? That whole part with the milfy lady telling. When the guy keeps hitting on the elder lady, and she's like, "Yeah, you gotta. I'm old enough to be your mom." And
yeah. That's not bad. Yeah, I think that was
the
lady.
Shows,
okay.
No, I was saying in some shows, like they'll have Pepper, the boy, like do like breakdancing and like cool. That's his time to shine if he knows how to dance. Like they made him do a bunch of push-ups in this one, but like he does something. That's always.
Can you let it like? Isn't it a little exploitative to have if it's a black kid playing Pepper, to have him start like, I'm jamming. Like, as much as let's just say he's an interesting character, but
right.
I always remember Ozell's joke about like, you ever seen a black guy just start dancing at McDonald's? Like, but you see the commercials and they're just like, I gotta have a burger. Like, I'm like, yeah, that's like the most exploitative shit. Like, it's like, you gotta have Pepper breakdance. He's black. He's grooving.
It is a musical, so people should be doing more dancing. That's my other big critique.
But, like, they should all be breakdancing. Why does Pepper have to be like breakdancing? They should do a whole break-in, like a Mamma Mia break-in version.
Maybe that's what the second one's about. It's like they have to save the hotel, so they have to do like a dance-a-thon.
Mamma Mia 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yeah. It's a movie I ironically like.
I think I just invented something, though. That could be the new... We could bring break-in back by just doing break-in versions of famous plays or movies. Yeah. I would love to see a break-in, just like a... Ooh, Point Break-In? Point Break with breakdancing. It's like a bunch of guys in president masks. Yeah, you could do like No Country for Old Breaking, like just a whole franchise of adaptations.
Now, if we knew some breakdancers, we could have a very popular TikTok channel, I think, or account.
I think I could. I actually know somebody that might know some breakdancers. My stepbrother used to breakdance, but he's like, 50 now.
Right. That's a different kind of breakdancing if he tries it.
Hey,
he'll break something.
Hip break dancing. Break a hip dancing.
Break a hip dance.
I would ask Jason Tom if he knows any break dancers, but I unfollowed him. Actually, I think he got the full-on block, which is very hard. I don't know a lot of people. when he kept asking me if I wanted, or he kept sending me like invitations to like Donald Trump, or
Oh, weird.
it's like, hey, you know those page requests, like, follow Jason Tom. He would send me like it was like, Jason Tom invited you to like fascism. So I was like, yeah, he's getting blocked.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point now where, like, if I do go on Facebook, it's like there's like 5 people whose stuff I see that I haven't blocked or anything. I'm like, I don't even like these people that much. They just don't offend me. So I don't even need to be on Facebook anymore.
Well, and I have a lot. Yeah, I think like 80% of the people I follow are like, they're not annoying enough. They're not like they're not entertaining, but they're not annoying enough to like block or unfollow.
Yeah.
Plus, I've always had the thing where I'm like, what if they find out I unfollowed them?
Yeah,
I don't want to be. I don't want to create.
So
I don't want to create these.
Feels like taking a big dump. Like, oh man, it's out, and now I don't have to carry this around on me anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean, it was great when when Elon Musk like took over Twitter and everybody was like leaving. I was like, I'm switching my name and dropping like a couple hundred people I follow, because they don't.
When Trump's back on, it's perfect.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the audience was so supportive. I was like, man, if I could get an audience like that for comedy shows, man.
Right.
Like,
it's again, 11,000 views that I'll never get, and an audience standing ovation, like really hyped clapping. Like, yeah, it's another thing I'll never get. But I'm never going to be performing in front of people again, so that's probably part of that.
Don't say things that make me sad, David.
It's fine.
Probably it's not fine. I'll tell you why. You should do what makes you happy. That's perfectly fine. But the problem is, there's people with half the talent of you that will never stop trying to perform.
Yeah, and that's and the thing is, if I go to perform, I have to like deal with those people and let those people have space in my life. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, but me, and then we can make fun of them together, and then it's about you have to take the little good. Like we had a
lot of bad is the problem.
We had a Christmas party the other night, and I'm like, the comedian Christmas party, and I'm like, I hate half of these people, but I got to talk to Grant Elwood for an hour. We had a good talk, and
that's cool.
Some people I haven't seen in a while, but But yeah, it's always. You know who Star is?
I've heard the name, but I don't.
Crazy lady that used to show up at Hawaiian Brian's every now and then.
Okay. Yeah.
Now she's started showing up like all the time and trying to do open mic, and of course, like, everybody gets to perform here, even if you're like, yeah, sure, do 7 minutes. So she shows up to the Christmas party. I'm just like, what? Why? Nobody wants this.
Right. I don't want to be an elitist or anything, but yeah, and it's good to let all the weirdos have a place to, like, be accepted and things, but also, like, I don't know.
Yeah, mental institutions.
In my life.
There's mental institutions for that.
Yeah.
No, they should have. Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's certain clubs, like, I feel like a place like Station Bar was like, only the cool people should show up here, and then they should have like a really dumpy, like, horrible open mic that's for people that aren't quite cool enough to be. It's like, you can't perform here, but if you want, there's another one down the street. You can perform over there.
Yeah.
Please don't come back.
I think it's just easier just to not come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's me. I don't know. Maybe I'll do something.
So
I need to make friends. I don't know if you know this, but every year when we do the 12 days of musical miss, I get less and less guests because I have less and less friends every year because I don't make new friends. So I don't leave the house. I can avoid it.
Yeah.
Or talk to new people.
I mean, the pandemic really did kind of put things in perspective as far as, like, yeah, you know what? If I don't want to leave the house, I don't have to. If I don't want to see the person. I don't have to. Like, I'm good with like the little. I'm all gonna do is the things I want to do and see the people I want to see, and everybody else can go. It's nothing personal. It's just like I don't have time to like we only have so much time on this earth, and it's like I don't have time to chit chat with every fucking person. Like, even when I'm at work, I'm like, I don't want to be an asshole, but it's like I don't have time to like wait for every person to. It's like just do your transaction and leave. I mean, a little chit chat here and there is fine, but some people just linger, and it's just it's like with everything. It's like even if you're at there's always that one guy at the comedy club that wants to like linger or like invade your conversation right when you're in the middle of like an epic conversation with someone. It's like there's always somebody. People just have no chill, and I feel like the pandemic it got a little bit better because a lot of people had time to like just like be chill. Like they had no reason, they had no excuse but to be chill. So I felt like for a while everybody seemed calmer, but now that I've been working in the retail environment again for like the last like people are forgetting again like how lucky they are to like I feel like people had perspective. A lot of people had more perspective during the pandemic, like because they're like, oh shit, like I have time to think and like maybe restructure the way I feel about things, or sit down and think about it, or maybe write down what's important to me, or just get things I wouldn't normally have time to think about, some extra thought.
Yeah. I feel like I have like a lower tolerance for like stuff I don't want to be doing or things that are making me.
Yeah. And you realize you can survive without doing a lot of things that you thought. Like until we had until we were forced to like not do anything, like we were forced to like do nothing. It's like, oh, I can survive just like not. It's okay if somebody invites you somewhere and you don't want to go to just be like, I don't want to go.
Yeah.
It's like I just no, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, speaking of inviting people to things, as you were part of Catsmas last year, and I did promise everyone that when Cats did show up here in Hawaii, it'll be in the middle of June, like June 13th. That's what we're looking at. I would buy a ticket for everybody that was part of it to come and see Cats. So, we have to work that out. I just want you to know that it's on my list. I'm going to be texting you about that sooner or later. About what your availability is, and I will buy you a ticket to see Cats.
Like we're all going to go to the same show.
Yeah, at the Blaze.
That'd be fun.
As many people as can make it,
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I'm allergic to cats. Yeah, I would. That would be fun. Well, I mean, it'd be. Yeah. I mean, you'll be there, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's bare minimum. That'll make it cool. But hopefully, Chad and some other people I know will be there.
Yeah, Ben St. John might fly all the way from Florida to do it. I told him, I'm only buying the ticket to the show. He has to take care of
right.
airfare and stuff. But if he comes, I'll buy him a ticket.
You get Joe Lewis to fly in.
Yeah.
Wait, was he on your Catsmas?
I think so. I know. I definitely invited him, but I don't know if he actually made it last year.
Yap is on your Catsmas.
I think so. I don't remember. Let's see. Who was on
you might want to
last year?
You ended up buying like 40 tickets. Wait a minute, I only did like 10 shows, but I have like how many Catsmases did you do?
I did 12, but it was I had to do it by myself 2 nights. So it was 10 people altogether. AJ Adam, Joe Lewis, Donut, Dan, Chad, Ben, Rory, and Sparkles. Yeah.
Wait, who's Adam?
I didn't say. Oh, Dan. I said Dan. I think Dan Connell.
Okay. AJ. Oh, Dan. I mean, I don't know Dan, but I always like. It's one of those guys that like I feel like I would really get along with, and I like his Facebook posts and stuff.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
He has good taste in movies. Like, he likes a lot of the same stuff I do.
Yeah, you guys should hang out.
I love people that like things that I like.
Yeah, see, that's all you have to do is just hang out with people that like things that you like, and less with like insane people off the street that wander into a open mic and start pulling old panties out of their pockets or whatever.
Yeah, and that's KC. Not Star. You remember KC, right?
Yeah.
I don't. If I forget, I have a quick story about him.
Sure.
I forgot. I just was thinking about people that I really like, and I'm like James Sigmund. I miss that guy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard from him in a while.
Yeah, he moved to Chicago and then got off of social media. So who knows?
He's doing okay.
Yeah.
So the last thing I heard about KC, who I don't know, I haven't seen since like probably 2014 or something.
All right.
I guess when things started opening up again, he showed up at some show. He showed up at some open mic or something, and then he was trying to get Jose to book him, and then apparently he had like an agent or somebody like promoting him. And they were telling Jose, I guess he made them talk to Jose, and instead of just asking him.
The right way to do it. Right. These people talk to their people.
Yeah. I bet you it was just him going like, "Hi, I'm KC's agent, Tomlinson." But apparently they were like, "Oh, KC would like to perform for you," and then Jose was nice enough to be like, I don't think he was like super excited about the idea, but he was like, "Yeah, you can open up one of our shows. Just it'll be like a regular feature show, but he'll be like the guy that kind of warms up. He'll go up for like 5 minutes before the show starts."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, KC only does featured performances. Like KC only does like 15, 20-minute feature spots." I'm like, what? I don't think he's ever been featured. Like, nobody's ever. You have to be featured by somebody to be a feature performer.
Yeah. Well, that's how you do it. Is you stop taking those the small bit roles and you go for the gold.
It's actually, I think I think about that often for people that actually are talented. I'm like, I wonder. Well, I mean, who knows? I bet you there's people that are already doing it like on the down low. But I always wonder, like, what would happen if me and people like me or James Money, I don't know, Joel Cobb, people that have been doing it for like upwards of 10 years, like, if like, you know what? We get double what everybody else gets because we've been doing it longer and we've done more. We've proven ourselves more. I wonder what would happen. It's like you just not book us anymore and have lamer shows.
Right. I mean, that would work if you were willing to, take the consequences of it. You really felt that it was worth it.
I mean, I do feel like we deserve more pay, but I also feel like I know how it will go over. They'll either be like offended or post some passive aggressive thing on Facebook about.
Yeah, that's why you stop following them on Facebook. It's business, man. You gotta take care of yourself that way.
I mean, I will give Erica Schwarzkopf credit for that. I don't give her credit for enough things very often.
Right.
She did say like she won't do like when she does. I mean, I don't know if it's true, but she said she won't do a like she won't start a show like like currently she's doing, what is it called, Beach House, and she's like, when I do venues, I tell them like this is my minimum price and I won't do it for less.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, no offense to her, but I'm like, that's what James Money should be. I mean, maybe he is. Who knows? But
yeah, he should be.
Honestly, you can say I should be doing that. But
yeah, and the fact that she's still booking those shows, so I mean, it works. I mean, there might be some shows that she's missing out on where she wouldn't have made enough money to make it worth her while. So, okay.
The only thing I wonder is how it's not her fault entirely, but like there's some of I mean I've done a lot of those shows and there's very rarely more than like 7 people there, and I'm like, how do they survive? How do they keep? I mean, it's hard to. There's places that have more than that are like having trouble staying open. So I wonder how they. I wonder how they. Like, there's places that seem like they're doing okay, and then they're like, "Oh, we're closing," and they're like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
It seems like you're getting back on track. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into those kind of businesses where they, with the overhead and things, where that you don't know how deep in the hole they are until it's over.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in some cases, it's probably good because the only good thing about like, I think what's happening a lot of times with some of these businesses is, I bet you the pandemic did it too, where like, once you had time to like sit down and go through all your paperwork, they're probably like, "Hey, my business partner's been stealing half of my shit."
Yeah.
Like,
right.
I bet there's been so much of that going on, like, or like, it was probably great to, I mean, for better or for worse, to find out like, oh, for the last 2 years we've been overspending like big time on produce or something, like
yeah.
There's so many companies that probably figured out like, holy shit, because I mean, you don't have time to do that shit when you're like, I've worked in some pretty busy restaurants where like it's so fucking busy you don't have time to do shit. Like managers literally there till like past midnight, and they come back at like 5 a.m, and like they have to sleep at some point. They're like weeks behind on paperwork, and
they're just making it work, and then
it just takes a little bit hanging by on a string as long as you can. Like the bear. Have you seen The Bear?
No.
Oh, that is. I'm not gonna lie to you, David. The Bear is the best thing I saw all year. That's the best show. That might be the best TV show I've ever seen.
Really?
Yeah, you should watch
it. About a bear?
No, it's about a. Oh, you haven't even heard about it? It's
no.
You have to watch it. It's on FX. Okay. It's about what we're talking about, basically. It's about this guy who was like working as a chef. He was working as like a chef at 5-star restaurants and stuff, but it's a family business, and his cousin was running. I think it was his cousin, or maybe his brother. I don't know. I think it's his brother. His brother was running this like sandwich shop that's like a family business, and they were like going through financial problems and having trouble keeping it open, and there's some shady stuff going on behind the scenes, and like this is like the basis of the show, so I'm not spoiling anything, but the brother dies. And
so he gets eaten by a bear.
The brother gets eaten by a bear.
Where's the bear?
So they start selling bear. They start making bear sandwiches. So all the sandwiches are made. So they're like, "Yeah, we'll get you, bear."
Yeah, because in the pilot, his brother dies from a bear, and then you're like, "Oh, this is gonna be about him like coming down and killing the bear." But then he kills the bear like in the next act break. You're like, "Oh, so what's this gonna be about?" And it's just him.
The bear sings too, which is the bears are, and then like 7 bears come out, and they're like, "We are the bears." And one of them is just a fat, hairy guy, which is weird, but no, it's basically the show starts with him taking over his brother's horrible business right after working for like fancy chefs in New York, whatever. And so now he's like trying to keep this business afloat, and it's super stressful and very real, and can't recommend it more. It's the only show that. It's the only Bear is beautiful. It's the only show I watched recently that right when I was done watching it, I was like, I can't wait to watch this again. And I don't normally watch TV shows more than once. I'm not one of those people. I very rarely will revisit a show, and that was one where I was like, holy crap, I want to watch that again.
Yeah,
but yeah, you should watch that. It's actually like, it's like universally acclaimed too. But it's one of those that actually I was like, oh, it lived up to the hype. Thank God.
Cool. Yeah, I'll watch that.
I think it's only like 8 episodes, and they're only like a half hour. They're like 25-minute episodes. Yeah, easy watch.
Cool.
Mamma Mia.
Anything else you want to talk to me about Mamma Mia in this production in particular? I think I wrote everything down I wanted to say. Yeah, so when I'm watching these, I do, in the second act, there's a lot of times where it's just like the mom or somebody like singing at somebody while they sit there and look at her. So I tend to skip through those songs. I'll watch like 20-30 seconds at a time and then kind of fast forward. It's like all the best stuff's in like the first act, I think. It's something I need to confess.
So you didn't really get the essence of the performances, because
yeah, I get the essence, like, just the essence. I don't watch the whole
thing. You're like, I don't care about the depth of it. I just need the Cliff Notes version. So.
Yeah, I just want to kind of see some of the choices they're making. I don't need to see the whole thing. Maybe I'll start doing it at like 1.5 speed or something.
Yeah, but you might miss the little funny, like, great comedic, like, little thing. Like, they throw in a little, like, hey, what's this guy doing?
That sucks. That's what I'm trying to find. That's what I want to see, are all the little differences between all the productions. That's what's important.
That is the longest. Oh, sorry.
I saying you just can't watch the same thing over and over again without. That's all that stands out now is just the differences.
Yeah, but what if they have a thing? What if they have like one little? You might miss like the one Easter egg they have. If they're like, they're like, that reminds me of CEB understudy version of Cats.
Yeah,
and then like 2 people in the crowd are like, yeah.
Yeah, that's the risk I take.
One of the longest outros I've ever seen to a musical.
Oh yeah, you mean after the? You talking about the credits, or are you talking about the post?
Like when they're bowing and then they sing, and then they bow again.
Yeah, they sing 3 songs and then bow again. It's a 3-song encore.
I was like, you could have just kind of came out quickly and waved, and then done 3 songs and then all bowed. I don't feel like you have to bow, sing, and then bow again.
It's like the post credits thing where it's like,
Do they always do? I don't feel like every play does it. I don't know.
I don't think I've ever seen a play do that where they will. I think it's because it's it's the ABBA musical, it's the jukebox musical of it all. You're really here just to watch them sing and dance. Like it's my favorite part of the show. It's because like there's not enough dancing throughout the show because they don't really put a lot of emphasis on the dance numbers. So when they just do 3 songs in a row and it's just dancing and singing, like that's like, oh, this is what I'm here for.
And still no
special costumes. What's up?
And still no full version of Fernando, even though they squeeze in as many songs as they can.
Exactly. They put Waterloo in there, which is the only time it's in the show, and then they also redo Mamma Mia and Dancing Queen. They could have put Fernando in there.
Yeah, you had time for that. I mean, if you're already holding us hostage at that point, let's throw in a Fernando. Yeah. Like I'm not gonna leave. I'm not gonna leave now. Like you've already overplayed. You've already overstayed your welcome. Like, this could have been a 1-act play, and we're still here. So just throw in a Fernando.
I want to give a shout out to friend of the show, Benjamin St. John, for his donation to the Hawaii Food Bank. We're up to $132 out of the $500.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah. You're awesome. I very briefly met that guy, and I enjoyed my brief interactions with him. Got to perform with him a little bit.
Cool. Before he moved to the East Coast.
Yeah.
In Florida now. He's that Florida.
Flowrider.
Talking about Flowrider. That's the best name. Like his music is fine, but like it's the best name. I feel like.
I know. I wish he was like a really good rapper because it's a great. It's amazing. He's riding the flow.
Yeah, and he's from Florida.
Yeah, it's like amazing.
Yeah.
There's a guy named. I was just trying to think of great rapper names.
Yeah.
He's been around for a few years called Mr. Motherfucking Esquire. I just love this. Like, he didn't need a Mista, but he threw it in there, and then it's like, he could have been Mr. Esquire, or he could have been motherfucking Esquire. He's like, I'm Mr. Motherfucking Esquire.
Because all those were taken, you just keep adding words to Michael J. Fox, that kind of thing.
Yeah. He still got it.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about that horrible? When we were doing our TV show, I think I've told you this. But when we were recording our TV show at Hawaii News Now,
right?
They had a lot of stuff from NBC. NBC shows, like posters and stuff up there in the newsroom.
Oh yeah.
They had a for the Michael J. Fox show. They had a post, like a giant, thing talking about how it's coming soon.
Right.
Coming this fall, Michael J. Fox show, and it says, "He's still got it."
Yeah, there's no cure yet. That's why you have to donate.
You really got to think about words when you're writing stuff down. It's like ready to shake up this season's fall lineup. I mean, you might as well do that if you're fucking.
Yeah.
You still got it.
I'm sure that all those ideas got pitched, and somebody says like, "No, we can't do that."
Yeah, we can't go that far with it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they even meant to do that. That's what I don't like. I feel like if they had doubled down into it, it would have been funny. But they could have made it funny. I don't think they even thought about it.
No.
Or they could have been like Parkinson's and Wreck. Parkinson Wreck.
Parkins in Wreck. Park and Sons.
Parkinson's. Oh, it's a Korean show.
Yeah.
Parkinson. Wow, that would be such a horrible. I mean, not horrible, but I feel like they can make a really exploitative, like, kind of like a comedy, but it has like a heart, and it's about a Korean family where the father has Parkinson's, and it's like Parkinson's. I mean, I feel like that's a show that could be written right now.
Oh yeah,
they've greenlit more offensive stuff than that without even trying to be offensive. So I feel like we're getting to the point where they might just double down and be like, "Oh, it's Parkinson's, but he's got Parkinson's."
Yeah, I think once the Blockbuster show goes off the air and Randall Park's free again to do another sitcom, that'll be his next one.
Oh yeah, because he's the only Korean actor there is, David.
The only one I can name.
You racist son of a bitch.
Yeah.
What about Grace Park?
Yeah, from Hawaii Five-0.
Yeah. Why can't the dad be a woman, David?
Yeah.
Are you saying a dad can't be a woman?
Mylon.
Oh, man. You of all people, David.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome that Ben don't. It's funny because I don't know why, but 132 looks so much better than 112.
Yeah, it's so much bigger, and yeah, because the number 3 feels like is one of those numbers that really looks bigger than it really. It's not the lower numbers, but it looks bigger. It takes up more space than other numbers.
Yeah,
nice and round.
And you can make it. If you're very lazy and you like making cool graphics, you can use a 3 as an E, even though it's
true.
Not facing the right way, but it doesn't stop people from putting a 3 where an E should be.
Yeah, I've done it.
Even turn it around.
I would do it in my screen name here, but I don't have any E's in there. Just a lot of A's.
Well, your regular name has an E in it.
Yeah, my last name.
I wonder if I could do. How do you change your? How do you change your thing?
That is a good question. Oh, I think click on the 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots. The 3 seashells next to the.
Next to
my. The bars.
The bars. I got bars.
Spit bars.
Oh man, I meant bars. There we go.
Hell yeah.
Bear with me for a second here. It's going to be all worth it in just a minute.
Yeah. We're gonna wonder how we lived without this. Also, you can't replace lowercase e's with 3s. That looks weird, I feel like. It has to be all caps if you're going to do that.
Wait, what?
We'll try it.
Oh, I have to be all caps?
Yeah, let's see what it looks like. But I feel like it looks weird. But it's going to look weird anyways, so that's the point. You can't start wrong.
It's going to look very weird because I went crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you went all the way through. Yeah, then that works. There's no rules anymore. It's just right.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's like Outback Steakhouse. Yeah. No rules, just right.
Yeah. So that's not even an Outback.
I will not lie. It's one of my favorite steakhouses. Oh, yeah. I don't know why. Outback.
It's just that I love any kind of like themes like that. Cheesy bullshit. I love. So it's Australian themed steakhouse, even though Australia is not really known for their steaks.
The thing I like about Outback Steakhouse is they don't pretend. I don't think they've ever said like we have the highest quality steaks. Like, right. But they're fine. They're fine. Like it's not. That's why I like. There's places that will lie, or they'll say like they'll just be like premium grade, or they'll just use words that don't mean anything, like that they know.
Right.
People that don't do research will believe.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they said it's premium grade. It must be good.
Yeah.
Or people that have like USDA choice, but instead of USDA select, and USDA choice is like doesn't even mean that's just like a most of the steaks at Safeway are USDA choice.
Yeah.
Well, see, I think select is actually like a higher grade.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense. Like there's prime, select, and choice, and none of them sound like this is the best one. And one of them doesn't sound like crap. You just have to know what they mean and know where the tiers are.
Exactly. But I didn't know Australia is not known for their steaks. How did you know that?
No, I don't think of that. Outside of Outback Steakhouse, do you ever think of Australia and steaks going together? Or cows?
Not really. I know they like their shrimp. I don't know, or that could be a stereotype too. I could ask my friend. I know a guy that a guy pretty well.
Last time you were on here, your friend from Down Under joined us in the chat. Yeah, because I mean the shrimps on the Barbie, that was something Paul Hogan made up. They even say the word shrimp down there. Oh,
I thought about moving there because I was asking him casually the other day, like what the rent's like in Melbourne, where he lives. Right. You notice I pronounced it Melbourne?
Yeah, you're practicing.
Melbourne. It's not Melbourne, you damn American.
Oh, yeah.
Melbourne. The rent is like pretty cheap. It's like cheaper. It's cheaper than it was in Vegas.
Right.
The only place I know of that off the top of my head that's cheaper is like Tucson, Arizona, but it's cheaper than like Vegas. Put it this way: Vegas is cheaper than here, and Vegas is cheaper than California. But Melbourne is actually even cheaper than Vegas. Yeah. So, and the comedy is decent there. Like my friend told me he knows like one of the guys that runs the Melbourne Comedy Festival, and he said like Americans do it all the time. Like the audiences totally get the humor, and it's not one of those things. You're like, what? It's not like a big disconnect.
Right.
I've heard even like at I mean, it didn't blow my mind, but I know like I've even heard of people in what is it called, the Fringe in what's the Scotland the Edinburgh Fringe. A lot of American stuff hasn't translated there. Sometimes like they've had a couple people had trouble connecting with people in that area, but I guess in Melbourne they're like totally heavily on board.
Cool.
But it was weird. He connected me with the guy, and the guy made it sound like not as good as he. Even he was like surprised because he was in the email. It was like and he's like, wow, It used to be way more liberal, but now it's like you have to go through. There's a few more hoops to jump through, but it's like if you get on it, like people will connect with it. Like have really supportive audiences.
Right. Cool.
In Melbourne.
Yeah. And they have better mental health services there, so you probably have less total fucking psychos at the open mics.
Yeah, well, and I could finally afford some therapy, which I've always wanted to do, but I've never been able to afford. Is it free healthcare over there?
I assume so. Who knows?
Pretty much everywhere. Pretty much every free country other than ours, right? Like every country that's not a third world country besides us. So.
Right.
By the way, before I go, I just have to say my favorite thing about Mamma Mia.
Yes.
Love letter to Greece. You know.
Greece is really like a character in the movie.
Oh, Greece. My favorite character are the Greek Isles. That's my favorite. It's not. They should have the island sing a song. Like
right.
They should have like a giant man with like just covered in green come out and be like. I don't know what song they would, what ABBA song they use, but maybe Fernando could be like Fernando Island in Greece, and it's like I'm Fernando.
Do you want to show real quick some a screenshot from the Russian version of how they envision the Greek Isles, the beautiful Greek island they live on? It's just like a rusty old tower. That's just how Russian.
I was gonna say it looks like they're on a cruise ship or something like.
Yeah. Like brutalist, you know.
It does look rusty.
Yeah.
Why is it so rusty? Why is it so rusty?
Like that's what when you go on vacation in Russia, that's what it looks like.
It's a dilapidated boat. It's a dilapidated boat.
Yeah. But that's the back of the state. They flip it around, and then it actually is more like Greek villa looking stuff. But yeah, it did throw me off when I first started watching it. I was like, oh, that's
that was Harry Headbanger.
Yeah. Harry Headbanger playing his acoustic guitar and singing about flowers and stuff.
In Soviet Russia, all music is headbanger music because government bang your head if you play it loud.
In Soviet Russia, head bangs you.
Yes. Apparently, Yakov Smirnoff was getting all MAGA antivirus shit a few months ago.
Yeah. That makes sense.
No, because I mean, to me, it didn't that much because he went on Never Not Funny, like my favorite podcast, and he really fit in, super cool. And then they're like, when he was doing all his weird, they're like, wow, he seems so normal on our show. And like,
yeah.
But I mean, it's always strange I think it's one of those things where like a lot of my Mexican friends in Vegas like were Trump supporters. Like once Trump started running, all these Mexican guys I knew loved him, and it's almost like this weird like torture, like it's like a torture thing. It's like because like Russians don't like being oppressed, but they're so used to it. Trump good because he.
Right. Yeah, you need that strongman, like dictator kind of feel to.
Yeah, it's like
when women have abusive dads, and they,
he hasn't killed me yet. He's just strong. He's not a pushover. He's not a pussy. Basically,
right?
Like, don't be a pussy. Is like there's so much what drives people. It's such a dumb fucking.
Yeah, that's what kept me out of my High School Musical. I didn't want anybody to think I was a pussy. So I just stayed home and watched cartoons.
Yeah, you are mama, huh? Because you're gay. Yeah, mama, you
are. Okay, so yeah, we're going to wrap up for the night. Oh, I wanted to ask you, were you a big Simpsons guy? You're a Simpsons man, right?
Yes and no. Like, I was obsessed with it, especially very early on. I was like, I bought the shirts. I had
the Don't Have a Cow Man. Did the Bart Man?
Yeah, I had Don't Have a Cow. I think you
ate nothing but Butterfingers for 6 weeks. It's because
yes, all Butterfingers. I think I had an Ike Ay Caramba shirt surfing or something.
Yeah, I think I might have had that.
But
yeah, no, it was an issue.
but
yeah,
I just lost track of it after like I don't even know. But I mean, yeah, I love it. Like, every time I watch it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's
so good.
Man, there's no way I'll ever. I don't think I'll ever be able to watch all episodes of it. Like, I'll always be at least 10 years behind. I feel it feels overwhelming at this point to try to catch up. But
you just have to commit to it.
I would love to revisit like the first 10 seasons and just like see if I want to keep watching after I watch the first 10. But I bet I loved it. I was on board from like Tracy Ullman days, so it meant a lot. It's one of those weird things where like it's not a part of my life currently, but it's meant so much to me in my formative years. Like, it was a very important show.
Yeah,
it's so funny that a lot of my comedic influences were like working on it. I didn't realize it at the time. Like Conan O'Brien and Dana Gould, for example, are like two of my favorite comedy people, and I'm like, of course, like the show meant so much to me, and people I really respected were working on it. And is there a Mamma Mia connection? Is that what you're asking?
No. There's a stream connection though. In that starting in the new year, my Monday night streams, we're not going to be doing Marvel movies anymore because we ran through those probably in July, I think. So in the new year, we're going to be doing a 508 episode Simpsons bracket of the first like 23 seasons of The Simpsons. We're gonna put them all in a bracket, and every week we're gonna just go through, a pairing. And it's gonna take 10 years just to do that, for us to go through that once a week. And then we'll be done with the first 23 seasons, and there'll be another 20 to go after that. But we'll all be done by then, I'm sure.
That could catch on.
Yeah.
You should like reach out to. I don't know who you can reach to, but
yeah, I'm gonna be posting because I made a survey for people to rank or to rate them so that we can seed it right. I just need to share that out. I need to go to like the subreddit and other places where Simpson fans hang out.
But even some kind of emotional, I don't know, maybe somebody could sponsor it.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Like a real nice long-term stuff.
I mean, especially if you're going to commit to it for a long time, like that's something that could catch on, dude. And you could like start making money off of it and actually keep going. Like, we're going to get. Even if you never go 10 years, like you can just keep saying it.
Yeah. As long as it's entertaining every week and it's something that people want to see, then I think it'll work. You just got to be consistent and be good. Is the other part. Those are the two parts. If I can just do that, I've got it all figured out. But we'll see.
Hey, don't have a cow, David.
Yeah. But now that I know you're a Simpsons guy, I would definitely be hitting you up to join us on Mondays.
No, but seriously, don't have a cow.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna try not to.
My real name is IP Freely. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, I've got a shirt somewhere that's I've had since high school, and it says written red, white, and blue with a picture of the United States on it. It says "Vote for IP Freely, U.S. Congress." And I always wear it on voting day. And it's a large shirt, so I don't really, it's too big for me, so I don't wear it.
We get it in shape, yeah.
I'm a small man. A very little guy.
It's fucking
yeah.
Yeah, we're buff now, so you might fill it up more, fill it out more.
Also,
what is that on the screen?
So we're gonna ride out tonight on the Yakov Smirnoff Miller Lite commercial from 1985, the year I was born. This is what we're gonna ride out tonight on. So we're gonna say goodnight to everyone. Is there anything else you want to say to the internet before we sign off?
Good night, Yakov. Merry Christmas.
Good night.
Merry Christmas, Hawaii.
Yeah. Great.
Mamma Mia Christmas.
Yeah,
by the way, there should be somebody should do a cat's Mamma Mia, and we could do that next Christmas. But anyway, Merry Christmas, Mamma Mia, Merry Christmas, and thank you for having me, David.
Yes, thanks for coming on. It's good to see you. Good to talk to you. Hopefully, do that more often.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I will say goodnight.
When I came to America from Russia, I discovered many wonderful things, like blue jeans, unopened mail, and light beer from Miller. When I tasted this light, I said to myself, what a country. Light has great taste. Light's also less filling with third less calories than the regular beer. In America, there is plenty of light beer, and you can always find a party. In Russia, party always finds you.
I think you'd have done a lot of jokes, but if just one.